Hey, it's Aaron, and today I'm with a 2022 Honda Passport. The Passport has seen a couple of changes this year, but it's mostly the same as it has been since it launched in 2019. This is a great vehicle, fits underneath the Honda Pilot, but above the CR-V, so it's kind of a mid-size, but not quite. It is a two-row. You have to go to the Pilot to get three, but it's wonderfully well made. And this year, brand new, is this TrailSport. Port. There's too many ports in the names here. Anyway, this is the TrailSport, which is new this year. This package is the mid-grade package for the Passport now. There's the EXL below it and I don't remember what the top one's called. But anyway, it's in between those two. There's only 3 trim levels for this.
Hey, this is Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and today's review is brought to you by Stop Soldier Suicide. Find the link below, click, and donate. Appreciate it.
3.5 liter V6, the 6-cylinder is putting out 280 horsepower. It's a nice predictable horsepower band and torque output, so it's like any V6. It's very, very smooth. That's why they've been so popular for so long. They're very smooth engines that have a very predictable delivery, and nice, I believe it's 8-speed transmission. I'll fix that on the screen if I'm wrong. It's 8-speed, I think. Everything kind of works together pretty well. There are some situations where the transmission seems to be holding back, probably in order to try to get fuel economy. But otherwise, like on the highway and just driving around, it's pretty great. So let's walk around, have a look at this thing. We'll go look at the working end, get inside of it, do all that good stuff. So looking at it from the side here, you can see some design elements. It's pretty simple, not a whole lot of things going on. Pretty simplified design, but there are a bunch of things you can see from here that are different because of the TrailSport model. So just to start off, looking at the design itself, the fender starts right here, so it's pretty traditional. There's not a lot of like stuff happening to make this fender. The little curve on the hood here is probably not visible from there, but it doesn't create a big hump like you would see a lot of the time. So instead, the fender just starts here and happens. There's not a whole lot happening back there. And in the back, that fender also just sort of starts happening right there. Couple of cool elements though. This line here that runs all the way through the bodywork ends and fades out just before the back of that. But you'll see this fender line running here goes through that filler port, which is a neat little touch because I've said that before. That is how manufacturers show their build quality. Little details like that, when they include those, makes it harder to put it together, but it shows people who are, even if you don't consciously recognize it, it shows that there's good build quality, and that breeds confidence for buyers. So then you have this rocker panel down here. So this just moves very simply. It's little bitty tiny S-curve, but it's very, very light, so it's not curving too much. And then it comes out and there's the rocker panel. So what you're seeing that's different on the TrailSport model here is a little bit of clearance here. Its ride height is slightly higher, and these are Goodyear Destinations, so they're much more aggressive tires compared to what comes on or Firestone Destinations, compared to what comes on the standard models. So these look a little more aggressive, giving you a little more muscle down here. Also on the TrailSport, these are standard, and they are functional, so you can get crossbars for it from the dealer that slide into the things and work. So those are functional. Also, what you're seeing is, you don't see any here, but there are TrailSport badges. They're etched into the seating with some orange highlights. It's on the back, it's on the front. You'll see those. From the side here, you're seeing a little bit more ground clearance because of the way this is shaped. Gives it a little more height. Then I think that's it for back here. I don't think there's anything else that is TrailSport specific. But oh, and then on this package you get these 18-inch wheels. That's another upgrade that happens because of the TrailSport package. So let's go look at the working end, then we'll get inside. So from the back here, TrailSport model, a couple of little things. The bottom diffuser down here for the, which would be the rear angle. Now I can't remember anything now. Geez, you got approach angle, departure angle. This one is slightly different on the TrailSport model, just to make it look more aggressive. I don't believe it actually improves the departure angle, but it looks better. And then you'll see these pipes, beautiful covers on there. That's really cool. TrailSport, you can see it here. There's the badge with the little mountains. And then when we open this up, I think my camera bag is in here, but here is the cargo area. So a couple of cool things to note. One, huge. I can't reach those seats. That's awesome. Huge cargo area. A milk jug spot here and here. That one's deeper than this one because this comes equipped with a stereo that has a subwoofer, and the subwoofer takes up a little space back here. You have buttons on the side right here that drop those seats for you, so you can just hit those and they go. Also has a 12-volt power outlet back here. There's some grocery hangers over here. This doesn't have the cargo cover, but you can get one. And then under this is another storage bin. This is one of my favorite things about the Passport, because Honda thought of this, and it's awesome. So lots of space in there. That's pretty cool. And then the spare tire is actually under that part, and I believe that you get to it from underneath down there. So yeah, really functional, useful cargo space. Let's go look inside. So here we're in the back seats. This seat is set for me at 6'3", and I still have leg room. I can also put my feet underneath so I can sit more comfortable. That's a big deal, especially if you're going to have tall folks in the back. These are pretty good seats. They're not the most comfortable, but they're not terrible. I could sit in these for quite a while and be fine. Tons of headroom. So at 6'3", again, I have 2 inches there. That's a pretty good gap. That's about 2 inches of headroom in here. That's awesome. That's phenomenal. 3 across, a little bit of a stretch in this if they're big people like me. Regular sized people, probably not as big of a deal. There are extra drink holders in this armrest, plus 2 here and 2 there. That's a lot of drink holders. There's USBs and a household outlet, 115 down here. So lots of plug-in options. There's storage pouches in the back of the seats, etc., etc. This also has built-in wind shades, which is a part of the TrailSport package. So those come standard. Lots of room back here. So this is a roomy vehicle, which is beauty. So up here in the front seat, again, lots of room. These seats are great. Very comfortable, nicely, not a lot of bolstering at the top, but plenty down here. So it feels really good. It kind of hugs you without getting too much like, you know, Aunt Betty or somebody. Nicely laid out controls, easy to figure out where things are. They're pretty straightforward. There's no complications. The infotainment is okay. It's not great, but it's not terrible. It's just pretty good. The controls for climate are very easy to understand, really quick to use. This has heated seats, but not cooled seats. Does not have a heated steering wheel, but is otherwise nicely outfitted. These armrests that are on the seats here are adjustable, so you can put them down all the way, you know, up. You can, where do you want it, right? So you can do your thing. This has seat memory up for this seat here. Also adjusts the side mirrors, and just a nice, simple layout. Nothing extremely fancy. Lots of boring black in here, which I don't like, but it's offset by the orange stitching and highlights from the TrailSport package. So yeah, I really have kind of enjoyed this car. Let's wrap this up. Okay, so 2022 Honda Passport, specifically in the TrailSport model, the new one. Again, this fits between, this is the exact middle trim, so you have the EXL at the bottom, you have this, and then you have the Elite at the top. Wonderful vehicle. So let's go over some numbers. I don't have a Monroney for this, so I don't know what the price tag is for this particular one I'm looking at, but to get into the TrailSport model, you're going to spend a pretty decent amount of money that I have to look up because now I don't know what it is. So to get into the TrailSport model, you're going to be looking at about $44,000. To get into the EXL, the base model for this, you're about $35,000. So that gives you an idea of where you are in terms of what you're going to be spending. So $35,000 to $36,000 to get started, and somewhere around $44,000 to get into this mid-grade model. Fuel economy is EPA rated at 24 miles a gallon on the highway. I did my highway loop in this and I was able to get 23.5. So given our 6,400 feet in altitude and all of that, I would say that this will probably get the EPA expectations for most people. So I don't think it's out of line. I think it's pretty good. I think those numbers are pretty accurate. So downsides are fuel economy and other vehicles in this class can be better. There are hybrids available for this class and so on and so forth, but this is a pretty good package. Now, as far as off-roading, the TrailSport package is really looks only. It doesn't add a whole lot of off-road gear. In fact, it adds almost no off-road gear. Other than those beefier tires, there really isn't much else on this that is improving the off-road of the Passport. Saying that, I will say that the Passport is far more capable off-road than most people would assume. So you can do a lot with this vehicle. I have taken it in previous renditions in previous years. I have taken it up into the boondocks and bounced around mountains in Colorado and places where you would not expect a vehicle like this to really thrive, and it did great. It had a good time. So I assume with those tires, you're going to be even a little bit better. So you probably just feel more confident at the very least. Out here at the top of the world here I'm about 7,000 feet here in Wyoming. This is pretty easy trails. I haven't taken it on anything very hard, and it's no worries, right? So these are basically glorified dirt roads. There are some spots that I could take it to do a little bit more, but given the time of year, that's a little bit tough right now. We're in the depths of fall. I know I'm still wearing shorts, but that's because I live in Wyoming. So if it's over 40 degrees outside, I'm probably wearing shorts. It is brisk this morning. It's about 50 degrees, and the spots that I want to go to, they're closing gates. You can't get to them anymore. So anyway, that's what's up. This is a nice vehicle. It's very competitive for the market that it's in. I'm not particularly fond of this white, even though it does have like the fleck in it and stuff to make it look more pearlescent. I'm not a big fan of white as a car color, but I don't have choice in that when I get these cars. I do like the white and black look though. The grille is very pretty, and these kind of offset with the piano colors and stuff. But anyway, 2022 Honda Passport, very good vehicle. Only a couple of complaints, but I will say that if you're shopping in this market, you might look at a couple of the competitors because you will probably find better fuel economy in some of them. And if you're not really off-roading, you probably don't need this package. You can get away with the EXL and a couple of extras and save some money to buy it. So there you go. That's what I got. Yeah, this has been Aaron. Talk to you again soon.
Subscribe.